Imagine this. On Sunday night, Formula One is racing through the streets of Singapore. By Friday, the entire circus is rebuilt 3,000 miles away in Japan. And 2 weeks later, they're in Austin, Texas, halfway across the world. This isn't travel. It's something closer to magic. So how does it happen? How does Formula One move an entire city across continents every 7 days? Let's break it down. So how big is the F1 circus, really? Formula One isn't just 20 cars on a grid. It's 10 teams, each moving about 50 tons of gear every race. That's roughly the weight of 8 elephants. Multiply that by 10 and you've got half a city's worth of freight taking flight. And it's not just cars. Teams ship spare chassis, engines, wings, IT servers, garage walls, kitchens, and yes, even espresso machines. Ferrari once panicked because their coffee machine didn't arrive. Each team also travels with 70 to 120 staff, mechanics, engineers, chefs, and physios. Add in catering, hotels, and transport. And what you've got looks less like a racing team and more like a travelling army. How does F1 actually travel the world? Formula One moves by road, by air, and by sea. A high-speed supply chain unlike anything else in sport. In Europe, it's all about the convoys. Up to 300 trucks travel from race to race, forming a 5-kilometre line of rolling garages and kitchens. Red Bull's motorhome alone takes 20 trucks and 32 hours to build. Aston Martin's hospitality suite? Closer to 20. But once F1 leaves Europe, it's all about the planes. Massive Boeing 747s and 777s haul 1,500 tons of gear across continents. Each team gets around 32 tons of air freight allowance, enough for the cars, tools, and critical electronics. And it's expensive, about $400 per kilo, roughly $14 million per team, per season. Behind the scenes, the freight moves in layers. A priority is the lifeblood. Cars, pit wall, timing, servers, flying first so a skeleton paddock can breathe by Tuesday. B priority follows with bulk garage kit and spares, and the slow, silent hero, 5 identical seaweight sets leapfrogging the planet. So when you land in Miami, a clone of your hospitality and flooring is already waiting. It's Tetris, with passports. Each crate is colour-coded and labelled like Lego, built to slide neatly into aircraft containers called pallets. They even have shock tags, tilt stickers, and humidity cards stuck to the lids. Inside, fragile electronics ride with moisture packs and foam padding. When it arrives, crews follow the same build order every time. Floor panels first, then walls, lights, and the brains of the garage. Open the lids, plug in the cables, power on. Customs could kill the show, so F1's shipping partner pre-clears special documents called ATA carnets, basically passports for equipment, and books bonded warehouses to skip long inspections. Miss your customs window, and one misrouted crate can stall an entire garage row. Think of it like moving house. Some stuff comes with you on the plane. The rest is already waiting when you arrive. What happens to the cars? After a race, after the checkered flag, the teardown begins. Mechanics don't just wheel the cars onto a truck. They dismantle them completely. In 3 to 6 hours, a car is stripped to its bare chassis. The engine, gearbox, and wings go into custom foam-lined crates. Fragile electronics travel in climate-controlled boxes. Every piece is catalogued and tracked by GPS. The carbon fibre chassis gets its own padded case, a coffin built for a spaceship. Nothing is left to chance. Because if one front wing goes missing, that car isn't racing. One missing part? That's what teams call a DNS. Did not start. What else gets shipped? Formula One doesn't just move race cars, it moves an entire ecosystem. Pirelli brings about 1,600 to 1,800 tyres to every Grand Prix, 3 trucks for slicks, 2 for wets, and a few for spares. Fuel suppliers can't move fuel between countries, so they ship fresh barrels directly to each circuit. Broadcasting's another hidden giant. Until recently, F1's full TV setup travelled with the circus. Now the sport uses remote broadcasting. A small technical centre at the track connects to a big control room back in the UK where most of the editing and direction now happen. Fewer flights, less cargo, same show. And then there's hospitality, the travelling luxury hotel of Formula One. Red Bull's energy station is a two-story floating complex that can be rebuilt on land or water. McLaren's motorhome takes 10 trucks. Aston Martin's needs nearly 20. These aren't just offices, they're full restaurants, kitchens and media spaces. Formula One doesn't just move garages, it moves entire buildings. How fast do they do it? The teardown starts before the race is even over. Saturday night, teams begin boxing up spares and tools. By the final lap on Sunday, mechanics are already packing containers. Within 8 hours, the pit complex is stripped bare. By Monday, trucks or planes are already on the move. Priority pallets, things like computers and garage walls, land by Tuesday. By Wednesday, the rest of the cargo has arrived. And by Thursday, the paddock looks like it's been there for months. Triple headers are where it gets brutal. In 2021, fog delayed multiple cargo planes between Mexico and Brazil. Teams had less than 24 hours to rebuild their garages. The FIA waived curfews so mechanics could work overnight. That week, survival was the strategy. Mechanics and engineers ride the same merry-go-round of visas, night shifts and time zones. 12 hours ahead, 1 week, 7 behind the next. Teams rotate staff, enforce work-hour limits, and even travel with physios, because performance isn't just horsepower, it's humans staying sharp at 3 a.m. under paddock lights. What happens when it all goes wrong? Sometimes the race behind the race hits the wall. Brazil 2019. Haas nearly missed practice after a plane delay. Japan's typhoons have grounded freight. And after Brexit, customs officers literally asked teams to show the car listed on paperwork, even though it was split across 50 crates. And sometimes fate still throws a blue flag. Runway closures, surprise fog banks, or a customs office that shuts at 5 p.m. sharp. That's when curfews get waived, coffees get doubled, and garages appear overnight like a magic trick you only pull once. Surely this is killing the planet. Can Formula One go green? The sport spends up to $14 million per team per year just on logistics. But F1 is racing toward net zero by 2030. Biofuel-powered trucks now cut emissions by over 80% across European races. Cargo flights use sustainable aviation fuel, slashing carbon by nearly 20%. New lighter containers save fuel on every trip. And remote broadcasting means fewer people flying to each event. Even the calendar's going greener. Japan's race moved to April to align with Australia and China. Canada will shift to May to group with the US rounds. Smarter scheduling, cleaner racing. Why it all matters. Here's the truth. Without logistics, there is no Formula One. Forget DRS. Forget tyre strategy. Even the best driver can't race if their car's still in customs. Every single week, Formula One pulls off the impossible. It moves an entire city. 1,500 tons of cars, tools, kitchens and cables across the planet in a matter of days. It's the fastest sport on Earth. But the race you never see, the race behind the race, might just be the most impressive one of all. If you loved this deep dive into the race behind the race, hit that like button and drop a comment, because we've got plenty more where this came from. From the tech, to the tracks, to the teams, you know we're here to make the world's fastest sport easy to understand and impossible to ignore. Drop them in the comments, and subscribe for more beginner-friendly F1 Explained, the easy way.